Hey, this is Chad with Drawn and Cornered. It is the 22nd of September, 2021, and here is your news for the day. On Drawn and Cornered, we parse out news and analysis for the day just so you've got a little tidbit of anything that you're going to need to progress forward, knowing about politics, international, national stories, things like that. If you like that sort of thing, subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications every time we upload, generally 5 days a week during the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things. First off, everything that happened over the weekend with the mostly Haitian immigration issue in Del Rio. We've got Texas Rangers, Texas law enforcement, Border Patrol on horseback, essentially corralling these migrants, keeping them in one place so that they're not just spreading into the country. And the left had a fit. And not only did they have a fit, they had an inaccurate fit. And I think that's the problem. So we had Secretary Mayorkas down there talking about the good work that the Border Patrol was doing, and then flipped about a day later, talking about investigations that will need to take place because of the abuses that these guys were alleged to have committed. Kamala Harris, in charge of the border, by the way, from the Biden administration, in charge of it to deal with this issue, said that she wants a full investigation because the pictures were horrifying, talking about how these guys were whipping the migrants as they were coming across, which the Border Patrol says, no, those are reins. Those aren't whips. That's how we control the horse. But again, this is what's vitally important here, is that a single image, this harkens back to the Covington kids. A single image is taken out of context and shown as representative of the whole and flips the narrative of what's actually going on there. So let's say that we had illegal activity coming in from the border and you wanted law enforcement to stop them. And they talked about how doing this on horseback is just intimidating and scary. And that's sort of the point of law enforcement. We need you to stay over there. We've told you to stay over there. The law says you have to stay over there. You have not done that. What are we willing to do to make sure that you stay in that spot? Or alternatively, are we just like, slap on the wrist, we didn't really mean it, come on through, we're not going to be mean, we just fake like we're going to be mean, and ultimately that all dissolves the minute that you actually start moving towards us or past us and getting into this country. The question will have to be asked at some point, and I guess I'm going to be the one to do it, is do we care about borders anymore? And if we do, again, what are we willing to do to protect those borders? How far are we willing to go to ensure that those borders are secure? If that first question is no, that borders don't matter anymore, then I don't know how to have this argument. I don't know what sort of country you expect to be living in if borders no longer exist or don't exist in any meaningful way. That's a problem. I heard several people yesterday talking about how these people are just looking for a better life. This is an amnesty issue or an asylum issue, and it's not. That's just blatantly inaccurate. Asylum is going from one country into the States. So if these are Haitian migrants, they landed somewhere before they got to the States. Maybe that was Mexico, maybe that was Colombia. They said there's a whole nother 10,000 in Colombia that are looking to make their way up. That is your asylum claim. Whatever country you land in that isn't the country that you came from, that is where you make your claim. You do not make it all the way to the States, running through 7 other countries before getting here and then attempt an asylum claim. That's not the way asylum works. It's not like a goal that you have that you want to attain. That's not the way it works. You're getting out of a place that's bad. That's it. First place that you arrive at isn't that place, is your new asylum. So they're not asylum claims. These are not places. They've talked about people that are coming in that have spent 3 years in Chile since leaving Haiti, that have been in Brazil for years with the jobs that are down there and are finally making their way to the States. These are not asylum claims. These are economic issues that people are looking to come to the States for a better life, which again, I'm okay with. I like that idea. I think this is a great country to do that. I think that immigrants that come in respect this country more than most Americans do because they understand what the alternative is. But one of the first things you need to understand about America is that we are a country of laws. We are a country of rules. We are even a country of lines. Think about when you're waiting in line to get off of a highway and that fool cuts around you on the right side going over the white line that you're not supposed to, how badly do we all wish that at that moment a cop popped off and chases him, pulls him over, tickets him, does whatever he's going to do. We all want that because we all want to follow the rules and we all want those rules to be followed. These people are not following the rules. So let's make them understand what America is by forcing those rules upon them, showing them, hey, this is the right way to do this. You can't just run into the country. That's not the way it works. Seems like a simple thing, but apparently we're in a place where the question of borders is sort of up in the air right now. Second story that's going to be coming out. We talked about this the previous 2 days. We talked about this days prior, but the budget issues. So we have to first get over this little itty bitty hump of increasing the debt capability of the country. Apparently, Mitch McConnell has said this is going to be entirely on the Democrats. They need to vote for this. They're going to own it, essentially. The Republicans have put forward a bill that doesn't demand a debt increase. So I guess that's a good thing that they've done that, and they're sort of making the Democrats own this element, which they're then going to try and use to explode an infrastructure deal and a secondary reconciliation deal, which is in real peril right now because progressives who want the $3.5 trillion reconciliation deal have said they are not going to do anything on the 1.3, I think, infrastructure deal, which is bipartisan, until they get their $3.5 trillion deal. Rep. Jayapal of the squad has said, this is real. Don't think we won't do this. She's been threatening Nancy Pelosi, saying, hey, if you don't listen to what we're saying and actually make this $3.5 trillion happen, you're getting nothing. And they're going to hold it hostage. And on the opposite side, you've got the people that are interested in the bipartisan $1.3 trillion infrastructure deal, which honestly, of the two, makes more sense and is more palatable and easily sold to a larger segment of the American population, right? This is legitimate infrastructure. This is your roads and bridges. This is your broadband internet. This is things that make sense when you actually pull them all apart. The people that are in favor of that do not want the $3.5 trillion and don't want these two attached because they want to be able to vote for that infrastructure bill and be able to go back to their constituencies and say, hey, like we did the right thing here and we're not overspending. We're just spending what we need to spend, which is still an extraordinary amount of money. That fight is going to continue and the deadline is looming. It's going to be a question of whether or not both of these bills get done, neither of these bills get done, or if they can separate and get one or the other, which seemingly at this point is going to be completely impossible. So expect some more fireworks, expect some more wrangling. Joe Biden's going to get involved in this. Nancy Pelosi's going to get involved in this. Chuck Schumer's going to get involved in this. This is all about wrangling the entire party towards that common goal. But the party is inside itself fighting back and forth about what that goal should be. So keep an eye on that because that's going to be very interesting. The last, and I don't want to report on this because I kind of can't stand this story, but the FBI has confirmed Gabby Petito's body was found in Wyoming, is her. They're still on the lookout for her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. You've seen his picture out there. If you see this guy, take a whack at him and make sure he goes into custody. I'm thinking he's probably already dead somewhere, but ultimately this is a disgusting story. It's awful. It's a small story too as far as who it impacts. It's just these two families, just these two people. But it's become a national news story because it's so awful. And it's essentially like the worst story out there. But hopefully there's some resolution shortly here. And he either goes to jail for life or ends up not making it to the jail. Either one is okay. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, critiques, leave them down in the comments section. Again, subscribe for your daily dose of news analysis, and we'll get this out to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll take the weekends off unless something spectacular happens, and then we'll be back. Again, Chad with Drawn and Cornered. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.